Hi everybody, this is Sonia from the Becoming Group and welcome back. And in today's video, we'll be talking about how desperation can actually cause you to settle for less and just like an encouragement to you to know your worth. Someone messaged me and it was for advice relating to a situation that I went through and they are going through the same thing. So I was like, maybe this is actually something that people go through often. So I decided, look here, I'm going to do a video on this thing just to encourage you because I've been there, and in that period of time I wanted somebody to see, to encourage me, and I wanted to know that I was not alone. So anyway, giving you a backstory as to how I got to this topic. So over the years, like a few years ago, maybe 3 years ago, I started to do work on myself, internal work, and I started to be okay with myself. And to be honest, I thought I knew my worth. And I didn't know that it was not just in relationship that you need to know your worth with. So we all need money, we need financial security. And so I thought I needed a job. And so I finally got one and I was so excited to start. And in the interview, I remember, when we were negotiating salaries and all of that, and I went so low, the lowest I think I could have gone for myself. And what had happened was they went lower than that. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to accept this because I'm in a desperate situation. I went home and I told my mom and everything, and she was like, I don't think you should take this job, Sonia. And I was like, no, mommy, I think I should take this job. This is what they're paying. They're going to increase it. And I started to put a little icing on, to make it not look that terrible. But anyway, I started working and all of that, and throughout, that job experience, it was really bad. It was a terrible situation to be in because my salary was late, like for the months, for most of the months. A lot of drama, and it was overall a very toxic situation, and I found myself just falling apart. And in the midst of everything going on, I had a loan that I took out that I thought, the job would have allowed me to take care of the loan, the small loan that I took out. But that was just an added burden. My salary was late, and so my loan payment was late every month because they would have, deducted that from my account every month. And so the interest for that loan went sky high. And I was like, oh my gosh, I did not know what to do. I found myself I was just fading away. Anyways, I remember just praying in that season, asking God to help me, in this situation because I don't know what to do. And I was just falling apart, and I wanted that release to go. But to be honest, I felt like God gave me that release a long time ago, but I was still holding on because I was like, God, what am I going to do? I don't have any form of financial security. Plus, I have loans and bills and all of that. Anyway, I got to a point where I remember praying one day, just seeking God about it. And, I got the release to just let it go and move on. And I left broke, drained, stressed out, everything. I left with nothing at all. Plus, I still had that loan just floating over around my head. It was just a stressful situation, but I knew that for my peace of mind, I had to just go. So, long story short, because I feel like I'm talking about everything other than what, but it's basically the backstory so that you can get what I'm talking about, because I thought I knew my worth. Like I knew that I wasn't going to take crap from relationships anymore. But it was almost like I was put in a position to kind of test me if you actually know your worth. So that job that I had to walk away from opened my eyes to the fact that I was settling for less than I deserve. And walking away from that job was like an eye opener, because I thought, to be honest, I thought I knew my worth, and I thought I was not going to settle for less anymore. And I realized that it's not just about relationships that we settle in. We settle in a lot of different things, and regardless of whatever the situation that you find yourself in, no matter how desperate you are, remember what you're worth. And we must learn to put our self-worth above a paycheck. I think in moments of desperation, sometimes we make the biggest mistake of our lives. When I left that job, I remember I slept for maybe a good month. I was so tired, so drained, plus broke. Broke. It was just a lot of drama, a lot of stuff going on. People can detect when the price tag on you is very low. It can be seen in the way that you talk, the way that you carry yourself. And I remember in that interview, I was so excited. I was like, oh, I can't wait to start. I want to start today and I want to start now. People can see that. And in the things that you accept, when you accept less, people will treat you less. That's just the way that it is. People can tell that they can make the lowest bid on you and make the highest profit in the end. They can see it. So after I left that job and seeing how drained I was, I promised myself that I will never, ever, ever settle for less again. And as I said before, I spent a lot of time after that job just trying to put the pieces together, because I was a mess. I found myself just really tired after that, and I rested for a very long time and just trying to put back the pieces of my life together. And that's what happens when we accept less than we deserve. We end up feeling more drained and more defeated than how we started. We cannot blame people for putting a low price tag on us. We are to be blamed for accepting it and wearing it. And that was exactly what I was doing. I did it in my past relationships, and I did it in jobs. It was something that I was doing for a very long time because I did not know my worth. I think we must make it our responsibility, and it is our responsibility to do proper investigation and to screen people before we take on any jobs, before we get ourselves into any relationships. We must do our part as well, just like how they're doing their part. They're screening, they're taking on their responsibility of doing their proper investigation. It is our responsibility to do the same. I used to hear people say this a lot: know your worth, know your worth. I mean, I knew what it meant, I understood it, but to be honest, I could not receive it for some weird reason until I got a nudge from heaven, just reminding me of who I am. I was created in the image and likeness of God, the omnipotent, the omnipresent, the Almighty God, the creator of this universe. I was created in His image and in His likeness. And so I started to acknowledge who I am in God. And so if I was created in the image and the likeness of God, the price tag on me cannot be low. It cannot. It just cannot. If I was created in the image and likeness of the God of this universe, then why are you to put a low price tag on me? I think I should be blamed even more for accepting it. And I think that's so important. And that's why I went through in the previous video on how to be confident. And I talked about we must learn to recognize who we are and who we are in God. It is so important. It doesn't matter what the external says. I might not be adorned in pearls and the most expensive jewelries and the diamonds and the golds and the very expensive clothes and all of that. That might not be what you see on the external, but what is inside. My intrinsic values are worth more. Your time is valuable. You are valuable. Do not allow a desperate situation to cause you to settle for less than you deserve. And as the saying goes, know your worth and then add tax to it. You're going to encounter a situation that presents two choices. I'm going to go through the same thing again, and the situation is going to present two choices. And those two choices are to sweep your self-worth under the rug, or you're going to wear it proudly. Which will you choose? Whatever the situation that you find yourself in, no matter how desperate it is, choose your worth every single time.